Pizza and Wings Podcast 200 is live here at Daytona International Speedway. The track crews have hit this track all day. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, well, last
Your mic just cut out, by the way, if you can tell. Or my mic cut out.
and I'm having issues with Discord, but
Now
not
you're
in
back.
OBS. So you guys can still hear me. Brett can now hear me as well. So we are all good on that end. Anyway, as you guys have already found out, Brett Bennett's with me. I'm Josh Copernall. So Brett, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's nice to see lights here at Daytona after last night. That was a lot of fun, but it was an interesting experience. I was the rightful winner in at least 3 different ways, so it's gonna be a lot of fun here tonight. Plate racing, always a blast to watch. Maybe gonna see some names we don't typically see at the front of the field having success here, because the draft always the great equalizer here at Daytona, especially in these next-gen cars. One thing I was really noticing last night was how much you could just generate a run out of pretty much nowhere. There was one restart. I mean, that's Legacy Daytona, so handling a little bit more important because of how bumpy it is. But there was one restart. I restarted, I think, 9th. I was leading before the end of the lap. So it's really fun to watch here tonight. Soon we're about done with practice, and then we'll get into qualifying and get going here tonight. And
Before we get into qualifying, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little video. And we'll explain it a couple times tonight so you guys understand what's going on. Something cool coming up. So sit back, watch, and then we'll get into qualifying.
This week in NAOR, the Happy Act Challenge begins. 3 drivers will battle it out at the Daytona road course. Cast your vote during today's broadcast for which one of these 3 drivers you think will have the best finish next week for your chance to win an NAOR t-shirt. The winner will be decided at the end of next week's broadcast. Lehman, Ruiz, and Holt. So what are you waiting for? Put your vote in now. Now let's get back to today's broadcast at Daytona Oval, only on JCTV.
So, like I said, we'll talk about that a little bit tonight. But I think it's pretty cool. Get a chance to win a NAOR t-shirt. Some rules. We'll go over kind of what the rules are. Here is, well, you did see it for a moment. Nathan Lehman's team. He's one of the participants, but we'll go ahead and go to qualifying and see where our drivers qualify for tonight's Pizza and Wings Podcast 200.
so just to be clear on that, by the way, you're going to put the name in the YouTube comments. Put the name of those out of those 3 drivers who you think will finish the highest in next week's event at the Daytona Road Course.
Yes, and again, we will go over that a little bit more. And if you have any questions, you can always comment them as well, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. I did have a conversation earlier. Make sure I did my homework to understand. I gave Brett a little bit of the rundown as well. So we are as prepared as possible for any questions. But first of all, it is an event that is sponsored by Nick Capiak's dad, who is here.
He's not dead.
In the chat. He is not dead. Very much alive. And we are grateful for that. Hope you still continue to kick cancer's butt. and stay healthy. So qualifying is about to start. And I think
Yes.
Jamil Hawkins is going to be the first one to go out. Actually, there was a list of the order.
There is a list somewhere. I am finding it. Oh, I'm in the wrong server. That's why it's not working. I was looking at the sack from last night instead of this one. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Tyler Ratliff is scheduled to go out first. Well, actually, it appears Jamil Hawkins will be first. He was, I believe, did not race last week, so because he's not on the list. Anybody not on the list goes first, so. They're currently lining the cars up on pit road here. You see the new Ford Mustang there. Looks a lot better on iRacing than it does in real life. Since apparently Ford did not realize that you should make the logo of your car visible on the actual vehicle. And yeah, Jamil Hawkins will be the first car to roll here. The number 4 Splatoon 3 Chevrolet.
So this track is 2.5 miles long, so it'll take it a little bit to get around. But Brett, one lap qualifying. How would you qualify around this track? One lap.
With one lap, you're going to want to just be up to the wall right now. You can't play a lot of my qualifying games that I would play here if I was qualifying for because it's only one lap. You need to be up to full speed by the start-finish line. You can't probably roll off pit road in 4th gear to try to save a little bit of tire and have more speed. So you're going to want to be right to the wall, kind of hold it up there. Maybe the middle, actually. I found that in the trucks, at least, or in the Xfinity car, the middle actually was a little bit quicker coming to the line to start your run. But yeah, then you're going to want to get down the yellow line. You're just going to hold it right on that yellow line. Maybe come up a little bit on the exit of the corners and on the short chutes, but there, Jamil Hawkins a little bit off the yellow line. If I were him, I'd want to be a little bit, have those left side tires just right around that yellow line on the bottom of the track. That's where you, as a wise man once said, the shortest way around is the fastest way around.
Is it good?
40, your mic's cutting out again on my end, Josh. But 49.018 for Jamil Hawkins. Now starting his lap is the 54 of Tyler Ratliff. Well, the 54 is showing a 67 Monster Energy Camry for me on my end, but because I'm pretty sure the 54 is Braden Holt, so I'm thinking something goofy going on with the numbers, but probably supposed to be a 67, but it'll show as 54 on your screen.
Can you hear me, Brett? Yeah, I think we're good now. I don't know what's going on. It's just a Discord thing. My mic has been acting kind of weird. In certain
Yeah, I have no clue
Discord.
if it's working on OBS, but
Oh, I'm showing everything's fine on OBS.
well, it's like I'm picking up, but it's more static than like actual words. It's like a chord is loose or something shorting. That's what it kind of sounds like. 48.966 for Tyler Ratliff. He goes top of the board as the number 60 Juicy Spider Ford Mustang of Michael Morgan starting his lap now. Michael Morgan, same kind of scheme that we see Nick Hapiak run at the Roush Fenway 60. Morgan coming a little bit up on the back straightaway way, that's a kind of a, you might see it for some people. I've never been 100% certain which is quicker here. I've tested both ways. Sometimes it seems like staying right on the yellow line is faster. But here, not really getting to the bottom there in 3 and 4. That's going to hurt Morgan's lap time here, as he's going to come off turn 4 and take. And it's going to be a 49.096. That's going to put him third fastest out of 3 cars that have taken time so far, as now coming to the line to start his lap, the number 76 of Kenneth Cheney, McDonald's machine. With that interesting nose of the Toyota Camry. My guess is it does not appear that he had updated his scheme for the new nose on the Toyota Camry, because some stuff looking a little funky there. But that's what you'll get when iRacing changes templates. As you see Cheney going through turn 3 and 4. Did a little bit better job, I think, than the 60 at holding it on that yellow line through the tri-oval. I don't know if it's legal in this league to cut below. I would actually probably cut to the apron there. I'm not sure if it's legal in qualifying conditions here. Kenneth Cheney, 48.958, fastest lap so far. As meanwhile, the 84 CMR Designs Ford Mustang of Giovanni Klein crosses the line to start his qualifying lap.
So Giovanni Klein.
Yeah, Giovanni Klein had an impressive debut earlier this week in the Blazer Sim Racing AMSOIL Truck Series, coming home, I believe, 7th at Pocono. Had a lot of success in the latest restart. Actually did get to go, though, Tristan Maher. Maher, I know, was not very happy about that, but had a really solid performance at Pocono. Right here, holding on the yellow line. Once again, that's kind of what you want to see from people, is kind of right on that yellow line. As Klein really holds it on the yellow line off the corner, maybe even thinking about trying to catch a little bit of a draft from Kenneth Cheney down the apron, and Klein going across the line of 49.054. That is good enough for 4th fastest out of the 5 cars that have taken time so far. As now coming to start finish line, start his lap, the number 81 of John Osborne. And trying to read cursive logos are the bane of my existence in terms of sponsors.
It's all right. Good looking number 81.
Ribbies, there's a pineapple, and it says the weekend has arrived. It's a Chevrolet.
It's a good looking number 81, though, and it's got the Pepsi logo on it. So
I believe it is Chubby's. I now can read it. It is Chubby's. The weekend has arrived. Chevrolet.
Hey, I like that Pepsi logo on the side of it, though. So John Osborne, he's going to go a 49.052 P4.
It's going to be good enough for 4th. Pacey Wygant in the number 00 PBR Racing Ford Mustang Dark Horse, starting his lap. Pacey last week got caught up in that early incident. Last place finish at Kentucky. Just does not seem to be able to get it going this year. Picked up the win in the season opener at Michigan, but since then, kind of tough going for last year's season, I believe, series runner-up, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes.
Trying to get things back on the right track here at Daytona, but not the track I'd want to go to when struggling, because it's really easy for things to go very wrong here very quickly.
Yeah, I know some drivers are looking forward to this race, others not so much. Pacey Wygant, I think he's one that's not really looking forward to this race, but you know, things could go his way. 48.963 P3 for Pacey Wygant, and Josh Arnold is about to be on the clock.
A 970, not a 963, but
that's what it's
you got it. Well, you gotta stop saying the first one that pops up, because that's always the one that's weird. Remember? Yeah, sorry. Josh Arnold in the outlive Auburn University fight against cancer Ford Mustang 22. As I've said before, I'm not a big fan of Auburn University, but go Tigers, the other Tigers in the SEC. But Josh Arnold here, another driver who's we've seen just kind of running the issues lately. I know in the BSR Amsoil Truck Series seems like he just gets caught up in other people's wrecks every week. He's going to cross the line of 49.067. That is good enough for 7th fastest. So not a great qualifying lap for Josh Arnold, but then again, it's a plate track. Qualifying, not a huge deal here. As one of our Happy Act Challenge drivers, the number 14 of Nathan Lehman, the Happy Act Ford Mustang, coming to the line, he started his lap.
So it is called the iRacing Challenge. And yeah, I mean, if you guys think Nathan Lehman is going to finish ahead of Jose Ruiz and Braden Holt next week, comment that your pick is Nathan Lehman, or by red, as they are color-coded as well. Jose Ruiz blue, Braden Holt green, and Nathan Lehman red. So either Lehman or red. It's Lehman.
It does not appear that we have Braden Holt here tonight. He has not joined the session as of yet, at least. So possible we'll only see 2 of those drivers who will be competing in it next week here tonight. But Braden Holt will be green as the option if he does not appear here tonight. As Nathan Lehman, 48.982. That is good enough for 4th fastest. Now starting his lap, the number 9, Pizza and Wings Podcast Chevrolet of Chase McGuire. Pizza and Wings Podcast, tonight's presenting sponsor.
Looks a little rocky on the back straightaway. I saw some small little movements in the wheel.
You really don't want to be moving the wheel a lot on the back straightaway, and there in the corner, not quite down on that yellow line. I don't think that's going to be a great lap time for the 9 of Chase McGuire. And in fact, it will actually 48.990, not a bad lap, 5th fastest. As now coming the line, start his lap, the number 71 Team Nigu Ford Mustang Dark Horse of Mike Campbell. Again, kind of moving around a lot there in 1 and 2. It's not a very consistent line. And same thing on the backstretch. Just you really want to be holding that wheel super smooth. Every little movement rubs the tires and costs you speed. Being smooth on the wheel, one of the biggest keys to a fast lap time around here.
I've qualified up front a lot in Cup cars at Daytona, Talladega, especially since the next gen come out. But I drive open setups. This is a fixed setup series. 48.979 for Campbell. Put him P4.
Claiming that you qualify well in an open setup is not a fair comparison because you run different setups than other people. And for plate tracks, if you have a good quality setup, you're going to beat pretty much everybody.
I didn't get my point finish there. It is so setups that I drive so smooth within the corner as well, and it is so much easier to handle, which allows me to have those really good qualifying laps. Now, I'm really confused here. Trying something different is Quimby. He actually was up high on the backstretch.
Yeah, the 30, the number. Yeah, the 36 Millsap Graphics Chevrolet of Justin Quimby out to the wall in the backstretch. I sometimes do that. It can be faster. That arc in the corner. By the way, last route Mike Campbell actually went 4 fastest, a 48.978, 49.018 for Justin Quimby. That's good enough for 8 fastest. So that going out to the backstretch not quite working. I do like kind of coming off the yellow line though, and out of turn 2, you don't scrub the tires as much, so it can be advantageous. But you just got to time it right. As now Jonathan Canfield in the number 1 Amsoil Ford Mustang started his lap. AMSOIL, the presenting sponsor for the AMSOIL Truck Series, which we will see tomorrow night here at Daytona. The track are going to be out overnight, converting it from the oval to the road course for tomorrow night's BSR Truck Series, AMSOIL Truck Series event. Canfield, nice and smooth down the backstretch so far. Been pretty smooth. Watching that wheel not moving around a lot. That's what you want to see.
He's actually been pretty impressive here.
49.045, ninth fastest for Canfield. And a lot of these speeds, which we're not really seeing because of the way the qualifying spaced out, is what they're going to be doing on their outlap. What kind of speed you have at the line makes a huge difference for these laps, as now you see the 45 fast lane, a JCTV podcast, Toyota Camry of Hunter Peach starting his lap. Hunter looking for the good run here, supporting the fast lane JCTV podcast. Recommend you give that a listen if you don't already. Fun time. Peach been having a really solid season so far. Has not yet found victory lane, but been up front seemingly every race. Peach brings it through 3 and 4. And a 48.983, sixth fastest for the 4500 Peach.
Hunter Senior.
And we go from Hunter to Hunter. Hunter Senior in the number 20 Home Depot. Trying to figure out because I can't see the hood from that view. One of the old Tony Stewart. It's the Home Depot Jurassic Park scheme from Tony Stewart. Throwback here for Hunter Senior.
I think I know who Michael Kruger's pick would be to win the race.
Oh, 100%. Same with Jeffrey Armistead. Senior did not seem to quite have the speed at the line to start the lap that we've seen some other people with, so that might actually end up hurting his lap time here. Yeah, 49.014, 8th fastest for Hunter Senior.
Jimmy Mensch.
Yep, the 94 W Ford Mustang starts his lap. You can see coming up a little bit in the tri-oval. I like running that kind of middle through that short chute, and then hook it down to the yellow line. Pretty consistent, wobbling a little bit in the corner, but he's been pretty consistent, smooth on the wheel, so it's probably not going to hurt him as long as you don't clip that apron, which I don't think he did. Yeah, that was kind of inconsistent entry. Kind of turned in a little too hard. Had to kind of straighten the wheel and then turn it again. That's probably going to hurt his time a little bit. Minch going to come to the line. 49.019. That is good enough for 11th fastest out of the 16 cars that have taken time so far. This next coming to the line to start his lap. The number 6 Ford Mustang for Nick Hapiak, Juicy Spider / the We Love You Dad cancer ribbon. It's not because he died, like I mistakenly said last week. Once again, apologize for that. Yeah, Nick Hapiak starting his lap.
Pretty good line.
Yeah, Hapiak has qualified for Daytona 4, if I remember right. Season 5 of at the time, the BSR AMSOIL, or BSR in the Pit News Truck Series. I believe the front row at Daytona was me and Nick Hapiak. Hapiak coming to the line, 48.975, 4th fastest so far for Nick Hapiak.
Jose Ruiz coming off 4 on the trial now. Ruiz,
Yep.
another driver that's in the Yak Racing Challenge. And again, if you think Jose Ruiz is going to finish ahead of Braden Holt and Nathan Lehman, comment Ruiz or Blue. And again, potentially could earn you a chance to win a t-shirt. And it will be for next week's race that the actual challenge happens, but the picks are locked in tonight with who you pick. So Jose Ruiz comes across the line.
And remember to comment in the race chat on YouTube. Yeah, great lap for Jose Ruiz, 48.970. That is third fastest of the 18 people who have taken a time so far. As now starting his lap, the number 24, Di9 Designs Chevrolet of Cole Snyder. Got the black scheme tonight for the night race instead of his typical white paint scheme.
Night race under the lights that are working.
Hopefully. We thought they were working last night because they were on in sim and then they just didn't do anything. They got the magic doesn't actually shine lights. This lap looking pretty good from Cole Snyder. He's really holding it tight on the bottom. And a 48.974 for Cole Snyder, fifth fastest. And next to start his lap, the number 17 Pizza and Wings Podcast Ford Mustang Dark Horse of Zachary Meredith. Meredith, I believe, last week started up front and actually was up front battling with Pacey Wygant and Hunter Peach for the lead in the early going of that race. Jonathan Parker ended up kind of running away with it after a couple of the contenders got caught up in incidents. I believe Meredith was one of those who was caught up in those incidents.
$48,984 for Meredith, P10. Dylan Chappell.
The 99 Pizza and Wings Podcast Ford Mustang. The pepperoni pizza on the bottom of the car and the wings on top. Chappell coming off his first top 5 of the season last week, coming 5th at Kentucky. A great run for him. Looking to build on that momentum here tonight. You can see he's running a little bit high there out of turn 4. See if that pays off for him. Yeah, 48.983, 9th fastest. As next out on track will be the number 7 FedEx Ground Chevrolet of John W. Phillips. He's currently just exiting pit road, so we get to see his outlap here. He's really pushing it off of pit road here. That was close to being a unsafe pit exit. And honestly, that's something if I were the league admins here, I don't think they're doing it. But I would not require people to use the pit exit qualifying at Daytona. There's no reason to if you're doing single car runs. iRacing requires it, but if you can manually clear blacks, I would just manually clear those blacks and let people drive immediately up onto the racing surface. John W. Phillips, though, starting his lap. John W. Phillips, one of three drivers in NAOR who has finished in the top 10 in every race this season, along with Jonathan Parker and Nicholas Hapiak. Jonathan Parker's finished top 5 in every race this season. I believe his worst finish this year is second. Phillips coming to the line here. 49.023. That is 17th out of the 22 cars that have taken time so far, or 21 cars that have taken time. Actually, 22, because I can't count. Next, start his lap, the number 16 UCF C4 Energy Chevrolet of Kyle Taub. Taub last week came home third. Great run for him at Kentucky. He has finished top 5 in both his starts this season in the NAOR series. Unfortunately, missed the race at Michigan, but has finished 5th and 3rd to start in his first 2 attempts. So, really strong start season for Taub, and hoping they continue that success here tonight. .49.007 for Kyle Taub. That is good enough for 13th fastest. Now out on track, the 48 Lowe's Chevrolet of Jonathan Parker won the last 2 races here in the NAOR Di9 Designs Cup Series. Looking today to make it 3 in a row. Worst finish so far this season, 2nd place, off to a great start to his season here. Although I know, having talked to Jonathan, plate races, not his favorite type of racing. It's not had as much success at plate races as he's had elsewhere, but entering today's race with a 70-point lead over Hunter Peach in the standings. Parker, you see our driver coming up a little bit on the backstretch. And I believe he qualified 2nd in the Slide Job Racing League here at Daytona. And pole qualifying there, which very similar format to this.
Oh,
48,
wow.
48.955. Jonathan Parker once again looking like he'll be sitting on the pole tonight. That would actually be his first pole of the season here in NAOR. Pacey Wygant, Zachary Meredith, and Hunter Peach are 3 pole sitters so far this year.
Yeah.
Donnie Kite still has not set a time. He recently reconnected to the session, so he still might be loading in. He is actually sitting on the end of pit road. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to qualify or not, because he was supposed to go ahead of Jonathan Parker. And I think they're going to let him go. So Donnie Kite about to be our final car on track, coming off that 2nd place finish at Kentucky in the Fast Lane, a JCTV podcast. Ford Mustang Dark Horse out to roll off pit road, I believe.
And he's starting to roll off pit road now, so Donnie Kite.
And just listening to that motor, I think he's going with the strategy that oh, no, never mind. I was completely wrong on that. I thought he might be rolling off pit road in 4th gear. It sounded like his RPMs were super low. But nah, he just was taking it easy on the throttle. That's something you can do here on iRace, is you can roll off pit road in a high gear. That at plate tracks, if you can get up to speed in time, that can really benefit you. It keeps the tires cooler, and tire temperature has a lot to do with how you end up qualifying at this track. because you're flat out all the way around, so every little bit of speed you can get matters. Donnie gonna come off.
Riding on board with Donnie Kite.
So finish line does a nice job cutting it down to that yellow line. 180 at the line. It's about what we can see from everybody here as they start their qualifying laps. All right, doing a good job there. Gets it down to that yellow line in 1 and 2. Pretty consistent on the wheel.
Now, Brett, I do have a question. You might know this a little bit better than I do. Of course, I drive the Cup car a lot, but again, it's with open setups. And I know open setups, at least the ones I drive, are built to be 4th gear in qualifying. Is fixed setup for 5th gear here?
I think it's 4th, but I've always been bad in this car at qualifying at Daytona because I'm never sure if it's 4th or 5th gear. Like I'm a pretty good qualifier at most plate tracks typically. I've never been quite able to figure it out as Donnie Kite goes 49.061 at 23rd fastest. I've never really been able to figure out the next gen car in qualifying at plate tracks, so I probably am not your best person to answer you there. My kind of rule is if I'm about to bounce off the chip in 4th, I shift the 5th. Otherwise, I just leave it in 4th. Shifting doesn't hurt you. I mean, it slows you maybe a little bit, but it doesn't hurt you quite as much in the Cup cars as it does in other cars because of the sequential gearbox. And if somebody knows the answer to that, actually, I might just go watch Jonathan Parker's lap so I can figure out how to qualify for a SAC coming up here in a couple weeks in this car.
See, I know what I got to do with an open setup, but not so sure about a fixed setup. I don't know if I've driven the Cup car with a fixed setup, to be honest with you.
Yeah, just for reference, Jonathan Parker was in 4th gear his entire lap, so that's our answer.
And that might have been the difference. You know, I mean, this car is so... you know, this car is different having the 5th gear. So it might have thrown off a lot of drivers.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Parker's lap. The RPMs are actually turning red, which is usually I know for a lot of drivers, is kind of when the indicator to shift is when that revs turn red. And it's pretty much in the red zone, which is anything above 8,800 RPM all the way down the back stretch. So I think that might be the difference there is if he kept it in 4th when most were upshifting to 5th, that would explain it. As we have started the 5-minute warm-up session.
Yes, once again, well, these guys are doing their warm-up session. Little contest that we've got going on. Well, not us, but Mr. Haps, Nick Capiak's dad. It's the iRacing Challenge. Tonight, vote in the comments who you think out of Jose Ruiz, Braden Holt, Nathan Lehman finish ahead of the others. And a chance to win NAOR t-shirt next week. If the one you selected is the highest finisher out of the other two. So you could say Jose Ruiz or blue, Braden Holt or green, and Nathan Lehman or red. Drivers are color-coded. Now, Braden Holt is not here tonight, and that we know of. That does not matter. He won't be here tonight. That doesn't stop anything from next week. If you say Braden Holt, just because he's not here tonight does not mean anything for next week. Next week's race is at the Daytona Road Course. go road course racing, which is always a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll also be there tomorrow night in the Amsoil Truck Series. I'm currently having the best season of my career in that league so far through 4 races, so hoping I can keep it going. Road courses, not my strong suit in stock cars, so tomorrow night's going to be an interesting experience. I don't think anybody's going to have anything for Tristan Maher, so he's my pick to win, just throwing it out there tomorrow night. And Josh, speaking of, I don't know if you're ready for it, but if you're ready to do our picks to win tonight.
Yeah, actually, we can go ahead and do that. Just give me a quick second to get the graphic up. Go ahead. Who's your pick to win tonight?
I am going to go with the 2 of Donnie Kite. I think he's going to do one better than he did last week and pick up the victory here tonight.
Wow. Well, you know, we did not discuss our picks to win before this.
Were you going to pick Donnie Kite?
I was, actually, yeah.
Too bad.
All right, well. I am going to go with Dylan Chappell. 99. It's a Wings podcast. Dylan Chappell. He's been on iRacing a long time. Not been a part of this league on iRacing for long, but you know what? I think he can get it done.
As warm-ups ended, so about a minute away from cars rolling off the grid here at the Daytona International Speedway. Track where I know both of us have slept in the grandstands at before, so a little familiarity here.
Yeah, that was fun. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup. Starting on the pole is going to be Jonathan Parker with Kenneth Cheney to his outside. Starting third, Tyler Ratliff, Jose Ruiz in fourth. Fifth place is going to be Pacey Wygent, Cole Snyder in sixth. Seventh, Nick Kapiak, Mike Campbell starting in eighth. Nathan Lehman starts ninth, and my pick to win, Dylan Chappell, will start 10th.
Starting 11th tonight will be the 45 of Hunter Peach. Zachary Meredith will roll off 12th. Chase McGuire 13th. Last week's third place finisher Kyle Taub will start 14th. Hunter Sr. 15th. Jameel Hawkins 16th. Justin Quimby 17th. Jimmy Minch 18th. John W. Phillips and Jonathan Canfield will round out the top 20 in 19th and 20th.
21st is going to be John Osborne. 22nd, Johnny Klein. 23rd, Donnie Kite. 24th, Josh Martin. And Michael Morgan starting shotgun in 25th. Tonight's race is going to be 80 laps.
And the fuel window tonight, according to Josh Arnold in the race announcement in this server, going to be about 31 and a half laps, give or take. So probably going to see 2 pit stops here tonight required of these drivers. As always, when you pit, could play a large role in who wins this race and who you pit with. We saw about a week, I believe 2 weeks ago here in the Slide Shop Racing League, lots of mistakes getting on the pit road here under green. So if green flag pit stops become a factor here tonight, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. These next-gen cars, they're pretty easy to get checked down to pit road speed, but it's really easy to lock your brakes and slide through your pit stall, I found.
Pace car is going to make the hard left turn into the safety of pit road. We're about to let 25 cars loose for 200 miles. And the Pizza and Wings Podcast 200 green flag is in the air. We are underway.
Yeah, good start for Jonathan Parker. He gets way clear, but that might be a problem here in a second. He's going to pull up in front of Jose Ruiz, take him with. Parker going to move the bottom, but Ruiz not going to go with him. And Jose Ruiz going to go take the lead to the outside. Tyler Ratliff going to have a big run here on Jonathan Parker. And Ruiz going to pull back down in front of Parker. Jose Ruiz, the race leader. As Pacey Wygen and Nicholas Hapiak both drop out of line to the apron. They're going to go to the rear of the field. They don't want to be in the draft early. Personally, my rule at Daytona is if I'm in the first 3 or 4, maybe even 5 rows on the inside or outside, I am fine. But as soon as I get further back, I'm just going to go to the rear. It's not worth. If you're getting in the middle, you never want to be in the middle of the pack. You don't want to be at the very back or the front. Cole Snyder, big push from Mike Campbell. Cole Snyder going to lead lap 1.
Snyder, great jump there. But it is Mike Campbell going to pull down to the inside ahead of Ruiz.
Yeah, Mike Campbell. Hey, well, we have not seen a lot of towards the front of fields this season. And once again, that's that plate race is just the great equalizer. The skills for plate racing, I don't like people who say it's just all luck and no skill. It's a lot of skill, but it's a very different skill set than every other track. It's all about using the air. It's more of, I would say, closer to chess than a... it's chess at 200 miles an hour instead of more of a mental game. I don't know. That bottom line starting to pull away. It looked a little bit of a blink there from Dylan Chappell. And when people are blinking at Daytona, I know you see Hunter Sr., I'm not sure what happened to him. I actually believe he might have had a internet issue and disconnected. He's rejoined the session. He is now 2 laps down, rejoining the field.
Jonathan Parker moved to the outside line, and Josh Arnold going to get to the back bumper of Jonathan Parker. So here comes that outside line.
Yeah, Josh Arnold started all the way back in 24th, next to last, already up to 4th by the end of lap 3, and it's not hard. It's not always I believe actually it was 5th at the end of the lap, but still. Yeah, Parker going to be side by side with Mike Campbell for the race lead. And what really makes runs work, especially in these next-gen cars, is that third car in line. But right now, it's almost a 2-car tandem. Arnold and Parker both clear for the race lead. Cole Snyder right behind him.
Josh Arnold was not on Parker very square. Parker's now going to be in the sucker hole.
Yeah, Parker looked like he thought about trying to pull down in front of Campbell, but didn't do it quick enough. Got hung out in the middle. He's going to find a hole if he wants it between Hunter Peach. Hunter Peach going to let him in. Jose Ruiz back up the second, pushing Mike Campbell. Also, my pick, the 2 of Donnie Kite. Not sure what happened, but he lost the draft. Actually, may have lost it intentionally to give Hunter Sr. somebody to draft with. Pacey Wygen, Nick Hapiak, and Michael Morgan have also lost the back of the pack. They're running all 3 together. As Josh Arnold with a big push from Cole Snyder, he's going to lead the field into turn 4, but that bottom strong in the corners. Last night it was interesting. We kind of found the top was the preferred line last night at Legacy Daytona. The bottom really worked when it got 3 wide. Did you see that again? Josh Arnold going to clear Mike Campbell, and he's going to lead lap 5 from the back to the front in only 5 laps with Josh Arnold.
And one thing I've noticed about driving these next gens quite a bit is that the I line actually really will work very well if you can get it going.
It's all about just who you have. Right now, I think the difference is really you see some bigger gaps in the bottom line. They're just not as well organized as the top. Although Cole Snyder getting maybe a little too far out ahead of Dylan Chappell there. It might be a big run coming back at him here. Really, it's not hurting him. And these next-gen cars, I've found that you can push really hard on them, even in the corners. They're remarkably stable. Yeah, that inside line pretty much died out. 5 cars on the outside now clear. Arnold, Snyder, Chappell, Meredith, and Jonathan Canfield. The inside line continues to fade back.
That's what I'm talking about. The high line, they get organized. They can really start to make a push.
Yeah, though
once you see it in real life.
I still believe a lot of that is not just the high line. It's really organization. In a race where the person in front and behind me knows what they're doing, I've never had issues making either lane work. It really just comes down to what kind of drafting help. And another thing that we're not seeing the bottom do, which when the top's kind of gaining that advantage here, the top's smart. They're not going to side draft. They're just going to run the top. If you're that bottom lane, you won't really move it up to the middle, getting right on their doors down the straightaways. Don't let them, because it's the straightaways where they're going to gap you, because they can arc off the corner better. A little bit of check up there up top, though. Cobb, Canfield, and I believe that was John Phillips all kind of getting together there. That lets the inside line come back a little bit. But once again, off that corner, they just check up big off the corners. And another thing I'm seeing is kind of interesting, not really seeing the third car in line up on the rear bumper, the second car's in line. These cars, probably more than any other car in iRacing, you can push the pusher pretty competently in this car without risking a wreck. Not always. Sometimes things go wrong, but it's usually pretty safe doing that, but we're not really seeing that so far here tonight.
Kenneth Cheney jumping up and down between lines quite a bit. Kenneth Cheney currently down on the bottom.
That inside lane is able to get up to about 5th. But they haven't really been able to move any further forward, although decent run in the corner here. They're going to get side by side with Meredith. Campbell's still working that bottom. Although Jameel Hawkins just from 5th in line just pulled up the top. That's going to hurt him. Every car that you lose in the line is going to slow you down a little bit. But Campbell coming right now. He's up to Cole Snyder. He's going to be side by side with Josh Arnold off of turn 4 for the race lead.
It's going to get some movement. Guys up top going down to the bottom.
Yeah, Dylan Chappell just blinked, and that's usually going to check up whatever line he's in, because people around you start lifting when you start blinking, especially at a plate track. Still at top, made good progress there on the front straightaway.
Cole Snyder going to clear. Chappell clear. We are 10 laps in this race. That went by pretty quick.
Yeah, so far, a pretty clean race and just kind of 2 organized lines. Not a lot of aggressive moves, although as this race goes on, I think we'll see that aggression pick up. But I still think that bottom, if you really want to make it work, needs to be side drafting a little more on the straightaways. Although it feels like Campbell's trying to get other people to follow him up the track a little bit to try to side draft that top lane back. I still don't like side drafting from the bottom in the corner. I just think that's it's dangerous, and it doesn't really give you a huge advantage. It helps, but it's just I don't think it's worth the risk of it. So far, though, everybody's seemed pretty content to just ride. It's usually what we see on pit stops. A lot of people usually will elect to run it deep. I would like, if I can get 3 or 4 cars to pit with me, you really need 4 or 5 cars to make the times work. But if you get maybe 5 cars pitting together who all can execute, you could pit right in about 7 laps or so and make to the end on one stop and then try to gap everybody on the undercut. As you see, big move to the bottom by Dylan Chappell and Zachary Meredith. And Dylan Chappell going to clear Josh Arnold for the race lead. Cole Snyder going to go to the bottom with Meredith.
Chappell, I think, wanted to move to the high side. Meredith's looking. They're going to go up there. Cole Snyder staying on the bottom.
Yeah, he's got Mike Campbell behind him. That kind of really stacked up the top there. Meredith right on the back bumper of the 99. Chappell led that lap. Cole Snyder now going to clear for the race lead. They're starting to really kind of get a little squirrely up front.
A little bit of disorganization happening with the shifting of lines.
Yeah, Campbell back to Cole Snyder, moves back to the top. He's now the race leader, followed by Chappell, Meredith, and Arnold. Arnold back to fourth in line. That bottom still pretty consistent. It's still Campbell, Ruiz, Ratliff, and Lehman on the bottom. They've been the first 4 cars on the bottom for the majority of this time. Campbell still trying to make that bottom work. The bottom right now seems to be in some ways a little better organized. Snyder going to move to the bottom. Not sure what he was thinking there.
That's kind of interesting.
I'm wondering if maybe some people thinking about pitting here soon, because otherwise I don't know why Snyder would have went to the bottom, as now you see Chappell and Meredith moving to the bottom.
Meredith actually going to pull out a line. Cole Snyder goes with him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on up front there. That was just kind of odd.
Oh, big checkup.
Yeah, all that movement's just going to stack up the outside line. That's really going to let Campbell's just staying consistent on that bottom, but then you see that usually when it checks up like that, it means you're going to get a big push. It's like a slinky. When you compress it, it just wants to spring back. Spring's probably better than an example, but it's like a spring. The more you compress that air, the more it just seems to shoot you out ahead. So the more cars you get kind of compressed in that air, the bigger run the front of the line's able to get, and you kind of saw an example of it right there. Meredith thought about trying to make a move on Chappell, decided against it. That inside line, top 4 on the outside. Arnold now also clear. Canfield clear as well. Inside line kind of falling off here. Just kind of don't have much help out of those 4 cars, and that top line got really organized.
Yeah, these guys doing an incredible job right now. Just keep things clean and riding around.
And I believe pit window this time will be open to make it to the end of the race on one stop. I don't think anybody's going to pull it early. Usually you kind of want to at least wait to split it 3 ways. Give yourself a little extra in case you're green, white, checker, because it'd be pretty tight to make it from here, especially running flat out. But you can now probably pit and make it to the end on fuel if you can be able to pit with you. Or I mean on one stop, not he made it to the end. But you might only make one stop from here. Campbell's got him back up alongside Arnold. Arnold third in line on the top, 4th in line on the top. That inside line seems to be better organized in terms of how tight they are, but like that outside line, Ruiz thought about trying to get in a hole between Canfield and Taub and decided against it. That stacked up the inside line even further. Canfield and Arnold once again clear, although Campbell back side by side with Canfield now here in 1 and 2. Josh Arnold going to make a move to the bottom. Doesn't really have help behind him, though.
He's going to try side drafting for the moment.
That's what you got to do, really. I don't like side drafting in the corner, but on the backstretch there, that's what you got to do. He's going to have Campbell behind him. Ruiz going to move to the top. Big hole between Tom and Jameel Hawkins. Tyler Ratliff going to follow Ruiz up there. That bottom line, Josh Arnold maybe made a mistake there. Is that inside line, just everybody pulling out of it. Now got Arnold.
Oh,
Although
Canfield
here comes
barely squeezing down in front of Tubb.
Yeah, everybody moved to the bottom there. And I'm wondering maybe pit stops could be possible because it's weird that everybody moved to the bottom when that top was really rolling. Jose Ruiz now leading the top lane with Tyler Ratliff and Jameel Hawkins. They are now side by side with Kyle Taub, who is in the 5th position. I'm just not sure what the reasoning was behind that run to the bottom. Ruiz and Ratliff, who had been on the bottom almost the entire race, now working the top side. Wygen, Happyak, and Morgan still running about 4 seconds back of the lead pack. Donnie Kite and Hunter Sr. almost 14 seconds back of the lead pack. Donnie probably going to need a caution here today. Oh, they're kind of stacking up there on the bottom. Snyder and Meredith, all three kind of bumping, top three all bumping each other on the bottom. Ruiz has made it up to Snyder. That top line just seems to be there more. I'm still just kind of confused why that top line all moved to the bottom. Especially if it wasn't for a pit stop, because the only reason I could think to move to the bottom like that would be if you were thinking about pitting soon, but Ruiz and Ratliff still working that top line, along with Jameel Hawkins, Devonnie Klein, 4th in line there, on John Osborne, 5th in line.
The majority of the drivers are on the bottom now, too.
Yeah, one thing I like that Jose Ruiz is...
Zachary Meredith moves to the high side. And Meredith could take the lead.
Yeah, he's going to clear for the race lead. That top line has just been there all race long. And Ruiz and Ratliff also going to clear. Meredith going to move back to the bottom, though. Ruiz and Ratliff gonna both clear now out in front of the field. Here comes Jameel Hawkins. First we've really seen of him all night. Not quite able to clear Meredith as Ruiz and Ratliff move to the bottom. Little blink there from Ratliff. Everybody keeps clearing and moving to the bottom, and I know I've been in a lot of plate races where people do this, but when the top's working like that, as you see Giovanni Klein make a hard move to the bottom, but when the top's been working like it has all race tonight, there's no reason to make a move to the bottom. I'm still just a little confused why so many people are aggressively moves to the bottom. The top, with less people, is still been moving forward. Maybe it's just safety, fuel strategy, who knows, but Jameel Hawkins now with John Osborne, John Phillips, the J Show up at the top of the track, as it is Jameel, John, and Justin leading the outside lane right now. All the J's lined up. And once again, that top line just keeps coming. They have only 5 cars compared to almost everybody else being in the bottom. That top is just right now the preferred line, and as long as it stays 2 wide, not 3 wide, I think that's going to remain the case. 3 wide, the bottom, I think, becomes the preferred line. But no one's really taking it 3 wide yet. Jameel Hawkins clear for a second for the race lead on the top. John Osborne pushing him. John Osborne also going to clear. John Osborne makes a move to the bottom. Jameel going to block. Leaves only 3 cars up on the top of the racetrack.
This thing is shifted around so much.
Yeah, I still like. Sorry if I sound confused. I just don't understand why everybody is trying to get to the bottom right now. I don't think it's. I think the top is just faster. I think you're going to maintain the lead up top. I think if you're on the bottom, If you you just need probably 4 or 5 cars on the top to pass you. Compared to the bottom, you really need to like have the whole field on the bottom. Like you could use it to pass one person, but I moved back to the top as soon as I could. Right now, the only 3 cars really lined up top, and that's even then they're still not falling far back. They're still even with Ratliff. In fact, those 3 cars are gonna have a run down the front straightaway. Phillips able to move up to even with Ruiz.
Oh, Quimby. Look at a little squirrely there. Quimby, the second car in line.
And in fact, we just had some cars come to pit road. Pacey Wygant, Nick Hapiak, and Michael Morgan. Those 3 cars were running together separate from the league pack. They all just came down pit road. It appears
Michael Morgan overshot his pit box.
It appeared to be left sides only for. Nathan Lehman, Josh Arnold, Mike Campbell, Jonathan Parker, and Jimmy Minch all onto pit road. So green flag pit stops beginning here at Daytona. Michael Morgan disconnected there. Oh, he went way by his pit stall, and that was not great from Michael Morgan, if I'm honest. Jameel Hawkins now still leading. He's gotten down to the bottom along with John Osborne. Only 2 cars left on the top of the track, Hawkins and Quimby. Donnie Kite also came down pit road along with Hunter Sr. They were running well behind the lead pack, and Casey Wygant and Nick Hapiak did not actually, in fact, catch that pack in front of them, and they both went a lap down during this pit cycle, so not ideal for Wygant and Hapiak. And Mike Campbell actually lost the draft there. Saw him up front early in the race. Now here we see more cars. Ruiz, Osborne, others coming to pit road. 4 cars remain on the track. Actually, only 2 cars remain at the pit. John Phillips and Jameel Hawkins, as majority of the field now on to pit road.
A lot of drivers coming down.
Yeah, did a good job there getting on the pit road cleanly. Currently 4 cars leading out of the cars that have pitted so far. We got Josh Arnold leading. Justin Quimby, 5.5 second stop. Gets out way ahead of everybody else. Not sure what happened there, but it looks like he did not take fuel.
Jameel Hawkins and John Phillips are in. They're side by side. Phillips made his box.
Yeah, John Osborne gonna probably cycle the race lead, but John Osborne got off pit road maybe a little too well. He's got almost a second gap to Josh Arnold behind the trajectory narrative behind him, and that rest of the field gonna be coming. Fortunately, Hunter Peach may have lost the draft as well. Wygant, Hapiak, and Campbell, he'll probably fall back to those 3. They're not that far off the lead draft, but I hope to get back in it. John Osborne, though, gonna go by Phillips and Hawkins as they exit pit road here. Maybe? He will. So John Osborne gonna inherit the race lead, but he's got a pack of cars closing on him and closing fast.
Yes,
I'm not sure.
Osborne is going to overtake John Phillips for the race lead, but here comes that number 17, of Zachary Meredith. They push from Josh Arnold, and look at the nose of Josh Arnold. I just saw it pretty damaged. So Hartel, he's all over the back bumper of Zachary Meredith.
Yeah, he does in fact have nose damage.
Yeah, Arnold moves down. And Lehman gonna push Arnold. Here comes John Parker.
There was an incident with the pit exit. I think that's why Osborne got so far out in front. Tyler Ratliff and Josh Arnold, big incident on the backstretch. Ratliff had just exited the pits, moved high. And, he wasn't trying to block him. Arnold just kind of, I guess, assumed he was going to move out of the way, and he never did. Arnold just drove in the back of him. Lehman got involved a little bit. Ratliff, everybody kept it straight. I think that's how John Osborne got way out in front of everybody. Actually, in fact, Osborne had exited the pits with that group, so. Yeah, but apparently that damage not hurting Josh Arnold as he is taking the race lead.
He actually goes to the outside, now pulls back down to the inside. Oh,
yeah,
my! Cole Snyder got loose there. That had to have been a bump gone wrong.
That's the thing. These next-gen cars, the tires do get a little angry when you don't change them during pit stops. And I don't think anybody took 4 tires. Might have had some 2-tire changes. John Phillips moves to the race lead. Although here comes Justin Quimby. Quimby, though, something happened on pit road to him. He had to come back down. I believe for some reason did not take fuel his first stop, so he is a lap down. Unfortunately, Donnie Kite, Jameel Hawkins also lost the draft. I'm not sure what happened to Jameel Hawkins.
Yeah, come back down pit road. I'm not sure why. Big push, though, from Meredith to Phillips. Gonna push that Chevy out front. Even further.
And not sure if he just didn't fuel the car or what, but. So Peaches joined Wygant, Happyack, and Campbell, and in fact, especially if Josh Arnold's leading this track, I think they're going to be able to catch Bridge back up before too long here. Drop to the bottom here. We go around Jameel Hawkins, John Phillips now leading this race.
A lot of movement. Yeah, Hawkins stayed high. So there was a lot of movement going on. So now it is Phillips still leading Kyle Tubb right behind him. Kenneth Cheney. Zachary Meredith battling for third side by side. Oh, Lehman kind of brushed the wall a little bit there, got a little too high during the trial. And I think it's about time that we remind everybody about the Yak Racing Challenge. I see some people picking drivers in chat, but I don't see anybody picking the Yak Racing Challenge drivers. So, I mean, out of the 3 drivers, Braden Holt, Jose Ruiz, and Nathan Lehman, who do you think is going to finish the highest next week at the Daytona Road Course? You can win a NAOR t-shirt. Just all you gotta do is tell us who you think is gonna finish higher than the other 2. Not necessarily, they don't necessarily have to win. I mean, they can finish last, second to last, third to last. And the one that finishes third to last could potentially get you a free t-shirt. Nathan Lehman is currently 56 tonight. Of course, again,
Or
this
just-
next week when it matters. Go ahead, Brett.
Or just pick your favorite color, red, blue, or green. The standard computer colors, RGB. That also will count red for Lehman, green for Holt, or blue for Ruiz. Meredith
still leading this race. Nathan Lehman all over the back of Phillips.
Yeah, big push. That top line's still been there all race long. I said before, but I just think that's the line you want to be in if you want to make moves towards the front. Oh, big block from Meredith.
Wow.
They keep it all together. That was an aggressive block. I mean, I was throwing those last night, but last night you had the mirror drive. You couldn't actually see the track in front of you, so it was easier to drive in the mirror when you were leading.
Phillips pulls down to the bottom, so does Lehman. Now
they're gonna
Meredith
move
is
to the
going to
lead.
shuffle back.
Yeah, Quimby, who's a lap down, and Todd also going to come through.
Right now, bottom line has the numbers. Top line getting some momentum, though. We are coming up to halfway in the race. You know what's something we haven't done in a very long time on JCTV? It's a little bit of JCTV turn it up. So as we cross the halfway line, Phillips, Meredith, Lehman, Ruiz, Tubb, top five. Let's do JCTV turn it up.
Giovanni Klein's around. First caution of the race coming out. They were 3 wide. Giovanni Klein was blinking a little bit, and I think that blink was what caused it. Phillips kind of spun around and people phasing through him. Pacey Wygett might have gotten a piece of it. Maybe some further people involved further back. Nick Hapiak almost got involved. And actually, yeah, Mike Campbell also involved further back. Him and Hapiak had actually caught up to that lead pack. John Osborne turned Campbell, checking up for the wreck. Peach got contact. Great job by Canfield avoiding it. Basically had to come to a complete stop there. He got a little bit of tagged a little bit by somebody else, but did actually a really good job there for Canfield. Got a little bit of contact there with Jimmy Minch. So caution flag flies. We are not. It's going to be interesting to hear. I think we're going to see some people pit here and try to stretch it on fuel.
I have no idea what was going on with the replay there, but we're finally showing you the replay. So what happened? Trying to find it was a lot harder than it should have been. This is after the fact.
And most of the field coming down pit road. Justin Quimby among them. Jameel Hawkins, your free pass here. He's going to get back on to the lead lap. And I do think people are going to try to stretch it on fuel from here. I've seen enough races at Daytona to feel like that's going to be the case. Here's also Hunter Sr. going to take a wave around here, going to get back to one lap down. First time we'll see Donnie Kite in the pack all day after he lost the draft early. But it'll be Zachary Meredith winning the race off pit road, followed by Chase McGuire, Jose Ruiz, Cole Snyder, Nathan Lehman, John Phillips, Dylan Chappell, Pacey Wygant, Nick Hapiak, and Kyle Tubb. Here's 4 tires and fuel for pretty much everybody. Top 14 all off pit road. Ratliff, Campbell, Peach, Minch, Canfield, Arnold, all having extended pit stops for damage repair. Jameel Hawkins now pulling in the pit road, taking the lucky dog. And unfortunately, that appears that might be the night for Giovanni Klein. He is not showing in the session for me right now. Well, he's not showing on track at least. Maybe just in the looking at a replay.
We're going to go ahead and interview a driver real quick. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Nathan Lehman. It's Boys in the Booth. Got a copy?
Hey, I got you guys.
All right. Well, currently 5th place. How's Ben out there?
Not too bad. Seems like every lane I pick is the wrong lane and goes backwards. So hopefully we can be a little smarter with our choosing here. Apologize to Giovanni there. I don't know what really happened. Maybe you guys can tell me from the booth perspective, but it's like he disappeared and then I hooked him or something. I don't know, but
yeah, he blinked out, but you didn't do anything wrong. He reappeared sideways, basically.
I gotcha.
It was one of those
it was very scary.
Yeah, you were 3 wide and he blinked out, so it's like this is one of those deals.
Yeah, I gotcha.
By the way, recommendation: use the top line.
Oh yeah, that is becoming more and more evident as the run goes on.
Oh, I was one of contact on pit road.
So, you out there? Do you have any strategies with anybody? I know there's not really teams in this league, but any alliances?
Yeah, I mean, the Fords were all pitting together there. And then something happened when we were coming off pit road. Somebody pulled up in front of the 22 and absolutely killed his right front. So that kind of hindered our plans a little bit. But I don't know. Now with it being 35 to go, we're just barely short of making it on fuel. I mean, we can go about 30 laps max, so we'll see. I mean, it might come down to fuel, but I don't know. It's going to be weird.
Alrighty. Well, you guys are 1 to green, so I'm going to let you go back down there. And good luck to you. Maybe we'll talk to you a little
All
bit.
right. Appreciate it. Hopefully we'll talk to you guys at the end of the race.
So everybody in the field.
I can't drag him. There we go.
Drag me.
I got you. I got you. That was Nathan Lehman, driver the number 14. Go ahead, Brett.
So everybody in the field other than Jose Ruiz just came down the top off. So we are going to have a single file restart right here. Everybody on the lead lap except Justin Quimby and Hunter Sr., who are both 1 lap down. Everybody, I think, is thinking they're going to try to make it on fuel. So we might see some single file race in here. You don't want to be the leader if you're trying to save fuel here at Daytona.
We're going to go restart with 34 laps to go. The pace car going to pull in for the second time tonight. Field in the hands of Jose Ruiz inside the restart zone. Green flag back out. We're back underway here at Daytona.
Yeah, and unlike last night, that was a nobody said it to single file restarts, but if you hit on 1 to green, it will line you up single file. And Jose Ruiz, the only one who didn't hit on 1 to green, so entire field lined up single file for that restart.
Oh, gap
And you can
between
see
Tubb and Janey. Yeah, nobody really going to the outside. Well, I say that. Casey Wygen now taking the lead.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Early in this run, if you're smart, I've done this before in races like this where it's a fuel save, pass people, because Wygen, everybody else is not going full throttle right now. Wygen can literally just drive around almost everybody and then slot in the line much further up. It doesn't hurt you to move forward here, and then when people actually go on it, you can start saving as soon as you get back in the line. So I like that thinking from Pacey Wygen here. Yeah, you see, just look how much everybody's checking up. He has no drafting help, and he is just driving around people. That is people saving fuel. And you see Osborne, Canfield, and Ratliff kind of having the same idea here. In fact, Pacey Wygen gonna look for the race lead. And with people saving fuel, he's gonna get the race lead.
I think in Pacey's mind, he knows nobody can make it. It doesn't matter how hard you save. And,
I'm going to disagree with you strongly there, Josh. If the fuel window is 31.5, you can save 2.5 laps at Daytona easily. I mean, it could be, though, that if you're thinking the other option you have here, which we have also done before at SBLD with some success, is if you give enough cars, you could try to break away and make everybody burn fuel or break away from the field. And they're going to have to burn fuel to catch you, or they're going to have to, you try to gap them so much that you beat them on the pit stop. But we're back to single file, all 22 cars, or all 23 cars in the single graph, other than Hunter Peach, a couple people further back, Happy Act Parker out of line right now. So though I don't think we're going to see people being aggressive right now. And you see Wygent led a lap. I think he just wanted to get that bonus point for leading a lap. So he's just going to drop back now and let John Osborne lead, followed by Jonathan Canfield.
Finds a hole, tucks into it.
I would really like to be third or probably fourth in line here. Fourth in line, you're close to the front that you can really control the race, but you are far enough forward that you can't really you can ride pretty much, not have to use a huge amount of throttle and save a lot of gas. Well, you got to be careful though. These next-gen cars, if you lose the draft, you will not pull back up to the cars in front of you. So you got to be really careful here not to lose that draft.
It's back here, Josh Arnold. He's on the outside. He's got nobody directly in front of him. There are a couple cars to the outside that he can draft off of.
Well, that's the thing. If you move to the top, even without a lot of drafting help, you're going to probably move forward just if you go full throttle up top. Right now, John Osborne continuing to lead. He's going to be burning the most fuel, but let's see how this plays out. By the way, Jameel Hawkins, during that caution flag, disconnected. His race is over, so 24th place finish for Jameel Hawkins. Michael Morgan already out of the race, running 25th. Starting to see some progress, I believe. That is Giovanni Klein. Apparently not too badly damaged. along with Justin Quimby. He was moving forward. Or it was not him. I misidentified that. Mike Campbell pushing Justin Quimby. And if I'm somebody else, I want Justin Quimby to be in front of this field. He's a lap down. It's beneficial for him to be on the tail end of the lead lap if a caution comes out. But he can be the guinea pig who burns all the fuel because he really doesn't lose anything if he runs out of fuel.
Yeah, right now, with Quimby out front, the free pass would go to Hunter Sr.
Yeah, and Hunter Sr. is actually moving forward as too with Donnie Kite. And every time a car pulls to the top, you got only 2 cars up top, but they go forward because of everybody saving fuel pretty hard right now. As now you see it with Donnie Kite move forward. It's been Hunter Sr. out there by himself. John Phillips, though, going to go to the top. And there's a little bit of a gap forming between Josh Arnold and Pacey Wygen, almost 0.7 of a second. Got to be a little careful with Pacey. But I really like that thought by Mike Campbell to push the lap car of Justin Quimby to the front of the field. You can ride second in line, control the race as the leader, but not have to burn as much fuel because you're the second car in line. Smart move by the 71.
Yeah, it's a pretty good thinking out of Mike Campbell.
Once again, Pacey Wygen moves to the top of the racetrack. Once again, by himself, passing everybody. Josh Arnold thinking about going with him. Still some decent damage on the nose of that 22 car. I think that 22 car, not a car that's going to want to lead the rest of this race unless it's maybe make a move off turn 4 coming to the checkered. Problem with when you make a move like that without help is if you're not able to get down and clear, you're going to have to use a lot of gas trying to get back down to the bottom of the track. As you see, Pacey Wygen right now kind of trapped up there on that outside.
.25 to go here at Daytona. It's Leaks Podcast 200.
And Wygen's still trapped up on the outside line. I'm glad.
Just another friendly reminder to pick Jose Ruiz, Nathan Lehman, or Braden Holt. Who do you think is going to finish ahead of the other 2 next week? Daytona Road Course. See, pick for Lehman. It's a free T-shirt. Even shipping. You don't pay a thing.
Oh, Cheney thought about trying to make a move. Him and Phillips had a big run on Wygen. The other thing here is, the other thing sitting here, which is maybe why not to be at the front. The further back you are, probably the more fuel you can save. A lot of times here, I have a number in mind for what my fuel burn is per lap if I am wide open up top, because that's where you're going to burn the most fuel. I will wait until I hit. I'm having to do the math in my head, which is always kind of a fun thing to do when racing. It's Pacey Wygen. Big run. He's going to get ahead of Mike Campbell. Pacey Wygen back to the race lead. He's going to pass Quimby. I'm not sure about that one, but what I was saying was you want to get a number in your head. Once you know that number, you want to try to get to that, and then as soon as you know that you have enough fuel to make to the finish, start pushing. Because a lot of other people won't be good if you can save more than everybody. You see Wygen out off the back. He's going to slot down in line behind the number 7. He's up to 3rd. John Phillips up to 2nd. Arnold's going to slot in 5th behind Kenneth Cheney in 4th. And now we see Dylan, two cars that were really at the back of the pack, saving a lot of fuel. Dylan Chappell, Giovanni Klein, and then 2 cars who were further back, Jonathan Parker and Nick Capiak, starting to move forward. Maybe they think they're to their number. Oh, big bobble for Cheney. Arnold blinked.
Kyle Tubb. Oh, Cheney hard to the wall. He's going to come down. Big wreck. Chapel. Canfield. Tapiak.
I think Donnie Kite made it through the graph. Canfield, heavy damage. Heavy damage to Chase McGuire. Kenneth Cheney's car looks like it's killed. John Osborne was involved. I am not sure what happened to start that.
Bad bump.
I was focused further back in the field. Yeah, Josh Arnold just hit him off center. Hard on the wall for Cheney, and then he comes down and collects Dylan Chappell and John Osborne. Canfield gets collected. Tyler Ratliff involved. Happyack involved. Lehman got the fence. And you could throw all the fuel saving out of the window now. Although surprisingly, nobody with a meatball flag, so everybody's still able to continue driving. We'll be able to prepare damage here. Other big thing out of that, Justin Quimby, I believe, was ahead of the race leader when the caution came out, so he is back on the lead lap the old-fashioned way. And that means, assuming he made it through the wreck, which I don't think he did, unfortunately. Actually, Hunter Sr. was on pit road. He had taken the wave around last caution to get to one lap down. So unfortunately, I believe no free pass under this caution. Hunter Sr. now trapped 2 laps down.
Drivers coming down pit road. Looks like everybody's coming.
Yeah, as I said, you can throw the fuel saving out the window. It's going to be a straight up race from here. And left sides only, it appears, for our race leader, Mike Campbell. And he is going to, appears to be the second car off pit road, John W. Phillips. Only 6.8 seconds, fuel only for the number 7. He wins the race off of pit road.
Phillips fans in chat.
So race off pit road is as follows: John W. Phillips, Mike Campbell, Zachary Meredith, Jose Ruiz. Donnie Kite been riding around in the back all day, up to 5th off pit road there. Probably not going to be in the back anymore. They're the only 5 people who did not take 4 tires at least. Here's 4 tires for Wygant, Happyack, Snyder, and Minch, as well as Peach and Quimby. Parker had a long pit stop, but not super long. Still a bunch of cars on pit road taking damage here after that large incident on the back stretch. Kenneth Cheney and Dylan Chappell have gone a lap down while taking repairs. Hunter Sr. will wave back around to being back only 1 lap down.
Well, unfortunately, my pick to win was involved in that. He is still on pit road, that being the 99 of Dylan Chappell. And get a good look at his car, which we're not going to be able to do because iRacing cameras are lovely. But your pick is doing pretty good.
Yeah, up to 5th. Donnie's been playing a smart race. It's kind of, he's been avoiding the mid-pack. He's been out back all race, just taking it easy. And a lot of times that's a good strategy here. Most notably in the Cup Series, Ryan Newman for a long time always seemed to be at the front at the end of these plate races, culminating in the 2020 Daytona 500, which is probably not the best example of success from that, but always kind of at the front of these races. Just ride in the back, keep your car clean, and then when people start wrecking, start moving forward once the money's on the line, get under about 20 to go. And we're going to be restarting here with, I believe, 18 laps remaining in this race. And I don't think anybody's going to be patient anymore.
I have to say you are right. Not often I agree with you.
And Kenneth Chaney, by the way, has disconnected from the server, so likely going to be, if Dylan Chappell can get back out and cross the line, Kenneth Chaney will most likely be our 23rd place finisher here tonight. Best case for him probably going to be 22nd if Chappell is not able to return to the track.
So, pace car going to come to pit road. 18 laps remain in this race at the line. John W. Phillips is your race leader. And green flag.
And one thing I don't like at Daytona is restarting as that leader. As you see, Phillips going to get a big jump and get way out in front, but the problem is, as Campbell going to get hung out up top, just no help. Big run for Zachary Meredith. He looks to the outside. Kite, though, going to follow Phillips.
Ruiz going to the top to follow Meredith.
Okay, so I think kind of more help on the bottom, but here comes Campbell with Cole Snyder and Jonathan Parker coming back to Ruiz. They're going to be side by side into turn 3.
Right now, bottom line in favor. Kite is clear. He could take it if he wants to. He's not going to, though. He's staying with Phillips.
Yeah, that bottom line really formed up well. They're moving forward. The outside line falling back. Wygent clear in 3rd. Happy going to clear in 4th.
Wygent wanted to. He does now, and Happyak follows Wygent up top.
Yeah, and then you're going to see Kite's going to fall back. Just not any push coming from behind him. Phillips, not a lot of help behind. We'll see what line he chooses here. He is not going to block. Donnie Kite going to get back to his back bumper. Going to give him a big shot down the back straightaway, but Pacey Wygent clear of the 7 for the race lead. Happyak, though, not quite clear. Wygent going to stay up top.
Ooh, Donnie Kite wasn't exactly square on Phillips. He didn't bump him in the corner there even.
You can bump in the corners in these next-gen cars, and you're seeing it. Big run off the corner for Happyak. Big shot to the back bumper of Wygent.
Zachary Meredith all over Happyak. He really wants those two to get clear and pray that they go to the bottom, but right now they are not, as Phillips is making a run on the bottom through
And coming in the
turns 1 and 2.
And coming to the end of the picture, 3rd in line on the bottom. But another name we haven't really seen at all tonight, Jimmy Minch in the 94. But that outside line got formed up on the backstretch. Meredith, Happyak, and Wygent all clear up top.
I would not be surprised if Meredith is the one that jumps out of line. Currently, he stays up there.
Ruiz got clear, Campbell clear. That bottom line just dying out behind the 7 of John Phillips.
Pacey Wygent, your race leader. Nick Happyak 2nd. Zachary Meredith 3rd. Jonathan Parker actually moving down to the bottom.
The thing about Parker is I think he's going to be smart enough to side drift. I think that's one of the reasons the bottom line was dying out. He's going to have to fall back to the Phillips. Just not a lot of people in that bottom line, that outside line prevailing. 6 cars on the outside line clear all the way back to Cole Snyder.
Still high line in favor. Big push from Phillips to Parker, though. They're trying. It's going to be almost practically back to 9th. They get 8th. Or I'm sorry, 7th, where Tubb is clear on the high line.
Got top 7 all clear on the top line. The big thing's going to be, when do you make your move? Lehman now clear in 8th. Hunter Sr. lap down, 9th car in line, going to also get clear. That bottom line goes. Now here comes Snyder and top to the bottom.
Perfectly timed, executed move out of the 2. Meredith makes a move down there. Pacey Wygent taking a peek. He stays high with Happy-Ack. But it's going to be Meredith. Side by side with Pacey Wygent. Big push from Cole Snyder.
That's the thing. That's the thing about the top. You're susceptible to somebody if they time it right and make that move entering either turn 1 or turn 3. Like we saw Snyder make there into turn 3. You really are susceptible on the bottom. You cannot. It's the move that you really cannot defend if they just turn it down the hill. Meredith Snyder clear. Now Todd. Now Jonathan Parker clear. That outside line now falling, fading back.
Meredith blinks a little bit.
And everybody's abandoned. Oh, big stack up on the bottom.
Inside line was prevailing. It's now top 4 that are clear all the way back to Jonathan Parker. Pacey Wygent trying so hard with that 4-car train.
And Jonathan Parker going to pull up in front of the top. Well timed by Parker. He's got Wygent. And those are 3 cars I would really trust leading that top line. Parker, Wygent, and
Snyder and Meredith moved to the top line, as well as Tubb.
Parker thought about it, but decided not to take the run he had on Kyle Taub. He could have probably shot to the bottom, maybe got him to the lead. 11 laps to go this time by. Phillips and Kite once again leading the bottom line.
Catching up to lapped car Dylan Chappell. Chappell currently on the high line. He's going to dive down to the bottom. Actually going to make the bottom line have to go to the middle. Oh, Phillips got really close.
Almost contact there. Top 5 still clear. 10 at the go at the line. I really like how Phillips and Kite are pushing each other along with the 9 car, and I like how they're side drafting that top lane. Oh, Campbell in the fence.
Ooh.
Campbell caught the wall, and Parker making a move on top. Parker, Wygent, and Happy-Ack all to the bottom.
Field right now kind of spread out outside of this top 6. See if they can get back together. Right now, Meredith is going to lead this race. He's trying to figure out what lane to be in. He goes down to the bottom in front of Jonathan Parker. Don't count out that outside line with Cole Snyder as Meredith actually moves to the top. Meredith going to stay in front of Cole Snyder. Here comes Jonathan Parker with a push from Pacey Wygent.
As I was saying earlier, those 3 cars lined up on the bottom right now. Parker, Wygent, and Happy-Ack, probably 3 of the drivers I would trust most in a race at this track. I think they all are they've been through strong drivers in this league, and they're making it work on the bottom. Parker clear, Wygent clear, now Happy-Ack clear. Ruiz trying to go with him. That top line starting to stack up.
8 laps to go here in the Pizza and Wings Podcast 200. Happy-Ack kind of taking a peek. He stays down, committed to Pacey Wygent. A little bit of a wiggling towards the back.
Ruiz thought about trying to make a move, wasn't able to get up top. Happy-Ack defended. The other thing is, what really determines a lot of these runs is what the people further back are doing. When you see like that bottom line, it's like a rubber band. The more people behind you are kind of pushing that air, just the more it pushes the leader forward. And one thing the top's doing right now, which I think is hurting them, is moving down on that top lane. That top lane's been fastest when they're just up against the fence, not even worrying about side drafting that bottom lane.
You're right. I think they need to just continue to do what they've been doing, staying up high. Zachary Meredith moving around. And Donnie Kite actually going to move in front of Zachary Meredith. Tom's going to stack up. They're going to be 3 wide. And Jimmy Mensch on the bottom. They figure it out. Get back 2 wide. Now, big push from Zachary Meredith to the back of Donnie Kite.
Yeah, and here comes Justin Quinby into the picture. Meredith now going to hang out Donnie Kite 3 wide.
Oh, looking 4 wide. Almost Cole Snyder committed to Zachary Meredith still. Still 3 wide. 6 laps to go. These guys trying so hard, make any move they possibly can. With Quimby. We know he can lead this race, but almost a bad push from Zachary Meredith. They're going to be 3 wide again. Zachary Meredith not wanting to be behind anybody.
Yeah, they're 3 wide further back, too. And this fighting's just letting the top. And now Tyler Ratliff's coming to the picture in 5th. Jimmy Minch clear in 6th. Top 5 kind of getting away. It's going to be 5 to go at the stripe this time.
Your pole sitter, Jonathan Parker, he's not been up front much of this race, but he's currently up front. Here comes the move out of Jose Ruiz and Tyler Ratliff.
Teammates, both in Toyotas. They are able to... Happyak falls back. That just kind of got sucked off of the back of Wygent by the side draft.
Big run down the back straightaway for the outside line. Jose Ruiz with a push from Ratliff. A little bit of a bobble there.
The top is faster when the drivers up there are patient. And that's one of the things on iRacing that people sometimes struggle with running that top line is if you're patient, that line is usually fastest. But people get impatient. You got to be willing to lose 2 or 3 spots for the potential to gain a lot more. You don't want to just change lanes whenever the lane you're in starts sliding back.
4 laps to go for the Pizza and Wings Podcast 200 at Daytona International Speedway. Jose Ruiz is going to be clear for the race lead. Committed to the high line, Tyler Ratliff. Zachary Meredith pushing Ratliff. Ruiz staying high. Here comes that bottom line. Big push. Nick Happyak to the back of Wygent, to the back of Parker.
Yeah, they just weren't able to generate a lot of momentum there, though. And I think that's that 4th car in line, Minch, a little too far off Happyak there, not really pushing the air on Happyak. And we know if Meredith gets clear, I think he's going to go to the bottom here. 3 laps to go.
Meredith is clear, staying committed to that high side for the moment. Quimby also clear of Jonathan Parker. When do you make your move? 3 laps to go now.
I think the move you want to make is, especially if the top's up front, is try to get a run down the backstretch and turn it down the track into turn 3. I think that's going to be the move if this top stays in front.
Here comes the bottom. Jonathan Parker.
Yeah, top kind of got separated out there. Big run for the 48.
Not just a big run, but a huge run. He's back side by side with Ruiz. Coming to 2 laps to go here at Daytona. Jonathan Parker going to be credited with that lap lead. Still side by side for the race lead. Now Ruiz just edged out ahead.
In what's, I think the term is who further back is going to be patient? Which line's going to stay connected longer? Say that big run for the top, down the back straight. Ruiz is clear. Ratliff is going to be clear. Meredith wants to get clear. He's not going to be able to. Inside line going to fight back here in the 3 and 4.
Ratliff getting a little bit of a gap between himself and Jose Ruiz. They are coming to the white flag. It is waving contact between Ratliff and Ruiz. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go here at Daytona. Who's going to win it? Ratliff moves to the bottom of Ruiz. Zachary Meredith going to suck up to the back of the 23. Meredith. He's peeking. He's pushing. He's pushing Ruiz in the wall. He's moving him down. Ruiz still leading. Quimby
Quimby
get
to
a
the
wreck.
grass.
Meredith goes to the high side. Zachary Meredith trying to be in control of this race like he has. There's still a lot of movement. Here comes Cole Snyder to the back of Zachary Meredith. Lots of pushing. Ratliff to the back of Ruiz. They're bumping and banging. Who's it going to be? Wrecking Jonathan Parker around. It's going to be Ruiz winning the race. Zachary Meredith second. Tyler Ratliff going to come home third. And I'm going to give you guys one last opportunity to get your pick in for next week between Ruiz, who's going to look to try to make it back-to-back. Next week, the Daytona Road Course, and a chance to win somebody a free t-shirt. It's free. F-R-E-E. It's going to be Ruiz, Nathan Lehman, Braden Holt. Have an opportunity. You've got one person that has said anybody. It's Nathan Lehman. Let's get some competition.
Yeah, if you're that one person, you're looking like you've got a pretty good chance right now. Yeah, Jose Ruiz really controlled the end of that race. Was leading a lot. Ratliff made the move on him into turn one, and I didn't really agree with that move by Ratliff. I think pretty consistently you want to make that move. You don't want to make a move until the backstretch at least, because if you make it in turn one, there is way too much time for response. Plus, if you don't have help behind, you're just going to fade right back. And I think we saw that. And it just came down to doors banging between Ruiz and Meredith to the line, and Ruiz was able to just barely edge him out as you see the fireworks going off down the backstretch.
Jose Ruiz trying to burn it down. Daytona is such a special place to win. One of my favorite moments ever in iRacing was being able to win the Daytona 500 in NIS last year. It was big time win for me. Boosted a lot of confidence, and you know, this may not be the Daytona 500, whole different series as well, but I'm telling you, it's going to boost confidence in Jose Ruiz. So, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of things here. Right here, 3 wide move, on a kite, spun around. That was in turn 4. And then, still a little bit of issues with the replay system. But there was Donny Kite in the background. Now coming to the checkered flag. Jonathan Parker going around. Ratliff going around. Casey Wygant got squirrely there. And that led us to where we were at with this man right here, Victory Lane. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and go through our unofficial results. Jose Ruiz, of course, race winner. Zachary Meredith, P2. Tyler Ratliff, third. Hunter Peach, fourth. Cole Snyder, fifth. Pacey Wygant, sixth. Kyle Tubb, seventh. Nick Kapiak, eighth. Nathan Lehman, ninth. And Mike Campbell finishes in 10th.
Your 11th place finisher here tonight, Jimmy Minch. Giovanni Klein recovers from that incident earlier to finish 12th. Jonathan Parker was towards the front, towards the end of that race. Got caught up in that last lap incident. Comes home 13th. Chase McGuire 14th. Justin Quimby gets turned on the backstretch. Did a nice job keeping it clean through the grass. Come home 15th. Donnie Kite 16th. Josh Arnold 17th. John Osborne 18th. Jonathan Canfield 19th. And then our first car one lap down is John Phillips finishing 20th. He was up front a lot too. Just didn't quite have it at the end of the race. Rounding out the rest of the... Oh, go ahead.
21st going to be Hunter Sr., Dylan Chappell, 22nd. Kenneth Cheney, 23rd. Jamil Hawkins, 24th. And Michael Morgan, 25th. So, Brett, I'm going to go ahead and go to our interviews, and I've been doing a lot of broadcasts this week and have interviewed third and first quite a bit. So we'll let you do that tonight. We'll let you talk to Tyler Ratliff, finished in third.
Yeah, I'm here with Tyler Ratliff, third place finisher here tonight in the Pizza and Wings Podcast 200 here at Daytona. Tyler, saw you make the move coming into turn one on the last lap. What more do you need to possibly get it done here tonight here at Daytona?
I just needed to be a little bit smarter there at the end. I was thinking about waiting, and I figured that I saw the opportunity and probably wouldn't have it again, so I took it, and Parker just didn't have the run that I needed to help me. But I was, me, Jose, and all the other Toyotas were working well together all race, so I was okay with pushing him there.
Yeah, we saw you earlier in the race have a little bit of an incident with Josh Arnold coming off pit road. Looked like you just moved high trying to avoid him, trying to just hold your line, and he kind of got in the back of you. What happened there, and how are you able to keep calm? Also got caught up a little bit in that last wreck too. How are you able to keep calm through that? Keep yourself in it and move forward towards the end of that race. Put yourself in a position to possibly win.
Yeah, honestly, with the whole Josh situation, I apologize. It honestly was just me kind of not paying attention on exit there and sliding up a little bit. It wasn't, anything intentional or anything, but I'm glad it didn't screw him too bad. And then a couple of those other wrecks there, it's just, I apologize to Josh and apologize to everybody and just try to, clear it out of your mind real quick and focus up, because the more you linger, the, less focused you're going to be to what's coming next. So.
And then coming home third, strong run for you. Haven't seen you full time in this league. You plan to make more starts going forward here in the NAOR Di9 Designs Cup Series?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna run, run part-time schedule for this one, this season. But I think the next race I'm showing up to is Pocono. Then I'm gonna show up to Bristol Dirt and pretty much the rest of the plate tracks. So I like to think I'm pretty decent at the plate tracks, and they're pretty fun. So.
I understand that. We're able to, so last but not least, look forward to seeing you next time out at Pocono, but who gets it done for you on that 67 car?
I'd like to appreciate Hunter for, Hunter Peach for getting me in here and helping me work through everything. Appreciate all the Toyotas there, Ruiz, even some of the Fords, Osborne, and just all working together all race and being able to make sure that we had at least some of us there for the end. It ended up working out.
And well, once again, Tyler, congrats on the third place finish. Look forward to seeing you next time. I think you said Pocono. Once again, congrats and have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
That was our third place finisher, Tyler Ratliff. And Josh, I believe you're down on pit road trying to catch up with our second place finisher, Zachary Meredith.
And indeed I am. Zachary Meredith. How's it going?
How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. You know, you were not my pick to win, but low-key I was kind of pulling for you there at the end. I'm waiting for you to get that win here on iRacing in this league, and I'm sure you're tired of not having it yet either, as far as I know. At least not on JCTV. I don't know who won the first season on iRacing, but coming up so close. You were doing everything right, just not having the pushes. So what was it like out there for that 17 machine?
To answer your first question, yeah, I won when we did Gen 6, I think in Season 2? Season 1, I won at Michigan, and I won Nashville. Actually, they don't put Nashville on the schedule because of me, actually.
Gotcha.
I led 136 of 143 laps, and they never put it back on the schedule. But dude, that race was so fun. That was like I get so excited on Fridays to race with my friends. You know, my true deep friends all over the country, and we were working together the entire race. And that last stint, that caution kind of bit us because we didn't want. We kind of saved gas, and then it screwed over some of my teammates. But yeah, I wish I could have had Cole give me a bump in the corner, but he took 3 wide coming off of turn 4, and it was just me and Jose just banging. And the last bang he got on me gave him that hood of a gap to beat me to the line. But man, my heart was beating. I wish I had an Apple Watch to see how many beats per minute my heart was beating. That was so many scenarios in that last lap, inside, outside. Don't know how I didn't turn him. My buddy Jake Wims somehow got turned, and I was like, no, there goes my help. And I was just like, oh my god, I don't know what's gonna happen, but swung it outside and hoped to beat him back to the line, and lost by 4 feet. Probably not even. Probably about 2 feet.
Yeah, it was a pretty close one. So tonight, of course, it's Pizza and Wings podcast 200. Really haven't been able to talk to anybody about that. It's a podcast that you and, well, a bunch of others have. It's called Pizza and Wings podcast. I know that, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't followed much content, but I did see recently you guys hit 100 subscribers.
Yeah, so the podcast is me, Cole, Jake, J. Paul, Griff, Dylan, Chase, Tyler, myself, and I don't know if I said Cole, but Cole again. But yeah, it's just like how I'm talking to you guys. It's just, we're all, we're just a group of guys just bullshitting, having some fun. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but sorry if I did or wasn't. But we just, just talk, have fun, and we're just hoping that it goes somewhere. And it was crazy. Like literally 2 days ago, we were at 74 subscribers, and our last video that we put up literally exploded. We had over 700 views so far, and we went from 74 subscribers to 245 last time I checked. So we even passed the 200 mark. So crazy that one video got us a little bit of recognition. So it's nice. We're climbing up the chain slowly but surely. We've only been around for little over 3 months, 4 months, and hopefully it just continues to grow, and we'll put out content the best we can, and hope everybody enjoys listening and watching the stuff that we put out. So,
and to go back to a little comment you made, that is one of the 7 words you can't say on radio or TV. We're not on that.
I am sorry.
I mean, I personally, but you're fine. So anyway, congrats on the 2nd place finish. Before I let you go, is there any sponsors, shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you?
Yeah, shout out to you guys broadcasting this. I can't wait to go back and watch this from your guys' view and see how exciting it was. I'm sure it wasn't that exciting when we're all in a line saving gas, but sorry for my cuss word. I didn't mean that. Sorry. Hopefully you can bleep that out. Shout out to the podcast, all my guys, over there. Like I said, Griff, Cole, Jake, J. Paul, Dylan, Chase, Tyler, the whole nine. And just shout out to J. Paul for putting this league on every Friday to where I can have something to look forward to every week and have fun with the boys.
All right. Congrats on the second place finish. And by the way, John Parker has said much worse. All right,
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
And Brett, we'll let you get down to victory lane. About the only time you'll find victory lane is when you're interviewing someone. So
Hey, I won last night.
I
just
mean,
didn't say I was the real winner.
stats,
Yeah, but I'm here in victory.
Stats don't
I'm here in victory. I'm here in victory lane with your winner, Jose Ruiz. Jose, we're able to hold on that last lap. First move from Tyler Ratliff, and then able to hold off Cameron Meredith coming to the line for your first NAOR series win. How were you able to get it done here tonight?
Oh, if you asked me that off of 2, I don't know. I had a feeling I was going to lose because Tyler made a move, and I think I was stuck on the inside there, but I still trying to grasp trying to win my freaking first race here in NAOR. I feel like I finished second, I don't know how many times last season. I came close, but finally made over that hump. But it was a close race. I was worried there off of 4 because Zach had the best spot. Normally, if you can get a decent run off of 4 if you pinch the bottom, and thankfully I had Tyler behind me. He said he's not letting off. He's going to push me all the way to the checkered flag. I don't know how I held on to that. I feel like I was sideways the entire time off of 4 up until the line. I think I just didn't want to get hooked. I feel like I haven't had the best luck in the first couple of races this season, mainly because I probably don't have enough time to jump on here and practice like I want to, but it's finally happy to get over that hump and finally grab my first win.
Yeah, and as somebody who's the king of finishing second without winning, great for you to finally break through. How are you going to look to carry this momentum forward next week, coming back here to the Daytona road course for the so back at Daytona on the road course next week? How are you trying to carry the momentum forward through the rest of the season?
It's how I normally run road courses. Just make minimum mistakes. Don't overdrive it and mess yourself up and go into the grass. I haven't had too many races here on road courses. They're really not my favorite thing to do. I've had experience in one league running the road course here at Daytona in the ARCA cars. That was I feel like that was 2 years ago, but I felt like I ran pretty decent. But kind of like I just said, jump on, practice, and trying to see where it goes here. And I don't know who picked me to get the best finish next week for the Happy Act Challenge. But hopefully whoever picked me, I can come through and get a decent finish and finish in front of Layman and I think Peach has the other car. No, I forgot who has the other car.
Braden Holt.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, hopefully I can get a decent finish and keep up this momentum going.
And then last but not least, Elliot done today. Who'd you like to thank as you sit here in victory lane for the first time?
Just guys we're working with. Osborne was in here. Tyler was in here. Hunter was in here. I think Jonathan was in here too. We were working together the whole race. Shout out to J-Paw for opening up this league and letting us race on Friday nights after a long week of work. It's always good to come home and race and kind of decompress. And then shout out to Noah for making our paint schemes for the challenge. I normally run a Boba scheme here from Trading Paints, but I like this one. The scheme looks good. And then Happy Active and his dad. I was lucky enough for them to sponsor my car after last year. I think I was running a blank white scheme with no sponsors on it. So thankful for them for hopping on and sponsoring me, and I'm glad to race with their sponsor on the car. And to you guys too for spending your time here and broadcasting. I would love to go back and watch this.
Yeah, and you did a great job here tonight. Well, congrats again on the win, Jose. Hoping to see you back here in Victory Lane again before too long. Enjoy it.
Thanks, guys.
That was your race winner here tonight, Jose Ruiz. And Joshua put on quite the performance towards the end of that race. Just made all the right moves on that last lap. Did quite the job to hold off Cameron Meredith coming to the line.
You did it again.
Zachary Meredith, because apparently I've decided his name is Cameron Meredith. Hey, getting somebody's name wrong better than accidentally saying somebody's dead. So we're making baby steps here.
Can't wait to see what next week consists of. So I mean, that's just about gonna do it from us here tonight. But real quick, we're gonna take a look. So track crews, track prep crews, still hard at work to get things turned around for tomorrow night, 7:45 p.m. Eastern time. Daytona Road Course is where the Blazer Sim Racing Amsoil Truck Series will be. And that's not what I meant to click on. Come on. And here's our look at next week. Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, Darlington. TNR Truck Series visits Darlington. I'm a race car driver, race truck driver in that league, and quite honestly, it's going to be interesting. I'm not a big fan of Darlington, but still looking forward to racing that. It's going to be fun, I assume. Sled Job Racing League Tuesday night heads to Richmond, 8:45 p.m. Di9 Designs Anywhere Series course, like I said, Daytona Road Course. Well, actually, no, I mentioned the BSR Series. So, Track Prep Crew has a week to breathe after paving the track last night, and now getting ready for road coursing tomorrow night. And then next week, 1 week from tomorrow, Saturday night, the Blazer Sim Racing Amsoil Truck Series will be at Auto Club, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to do it from us here at the High Banks of Daytona Beach, Florida. And yes, what Brett said earlier is true. We both did sleep in the grandstands here. We know what it's like. And, honestly, it wasn't bad. I was comfy. But then again, I can sleep pretty much on anything. So that's the thing. But a lot of fun. So big thanks to Brett Bennett, as always, for calling these races with me. And on behalf of the entire outstanding crew at JCTV, my name is Joshua Coppernoll, signing off. Thanks so long. We will see you next time.